What the fuck? That took me by surprise more than you would have ever imagined. Hello. Holy shit. Hi. Okay. I expected to hear freaking Towa I Hoshi ga Nakareru Sono Sakite and not fucking 10 million people screaming at me in Japanese. Okay. Welcome back to the Freeze. This is gonna be this is like an early morning episode, I guess you could say. It's like 3 a.m. I'd like to address some stuffs. Because I feel as if it's necessary. Also, if you're wondering, no, I did not get Fiend. So that sucks. But hey, I got Aldo, so that's cool. At least at the end of the day, I mean, how many? Yeah, we got 1, 2. Yeah, at the end of the day, I mean, this team needed like one more guy. I mean, like, and that's not what matters. What matters is we're here. I want to talk about some stuff. So let's get this up. This is gonna be today's episode, but it's just gonna be recorded very early. I wanna talk about a little bit about my review of the Under Resort and Feline Guide event. I wanna kind of like talk about like some of the, like when I had said, like if I understand if this event was like a prelogue or like a prelude into a larger collaboration. Like I want to explain what that would have looked like, at least in my mind. So like what I think, like not what I would have done. I mean maybe, but like here's what I thought they were going to do, right? What I thought they were gonna do is that they'd and this would be really funny because I mean it just would. And I guess like it could also be like really, I guess it could make the title like a little bit more like viable in my opinion. But the whole so here's what I thought was gonna happen. So they found the wormhole, right? And like just as they destroyed like the freaking mega chimera Goliath thing, which was so cool by the way. Like I still can't get over how cool that was. But yeah, after they defeated that, I was kind of like I thought what was gonna happen is that, especially when we saw Andromeda and all the cats like basically like destroying her, I thought what was gonna happen is that like the cats were all gonna like start like they were gonna annoy Andromeda so much that like Andromeda would like, I don't know, just start like flailing everywhere, and then the cats would be flailing everywhere, and then everyone would be like flailing everywhere, and everyone would just like trip on each other, and then that's how they get into like the wormhole. And why the title would make a little more sense is, well, I mean, like, yeah, the title would make a little more sense, like, because it's like, oh yeah, we're in the Under Resort, and then the Feline Guide, the Feline Guide is, like the cat guides, right? But like they don't guide us throughout like the battles or whatever. They guide us to the wormhole, not just the wormhole, but what's on the other side of the wormhole, and that could have basically the guide to the real collaboration, to the real meat of the story. Now I don't know what would have happened in the actual story, because it's really tricky, because I never really thought about what time period Aurario is in. To me, it's always seemed like in the past, but that doesn't make sense because there's like lights and stuff. Like there's technically like wiring in some places. So, at least I'm assuming there is, unless that's magic. But I never really thought about it. But like the world of Memoria Freese is timeless, and that's also like really. I guess it also like really shows in it shows in a lot of areas, especially with Ivalis in not a stray record. What the hell is it called? Dungeon Whiteout. That one guy who I forgot the name of, who had the purple hair. Ivalis making that whole like steampunky looking like contraption shit, and then like test tubes like looking a little bit sci-fi but also like magic. And so it's a very timeless thing, because then you also have like different like customs, like you're talking about like you there's like with Take's not origin, but like where Take used to be from, and along with Makoto and Oka and Chigusa and Haruhime, like all from the Far East. We're seeing in the few scenes that we do see them, like in the anime and in some of the events, we see, that there's the houses and but like the old-fashioned style, like not old-fashioned, but like you get what I'm saying. And then it's kind of like, the time period is really all over the place. And then you also have like Olympia, which is like fucking like 3 bajillion years ago. I don't know. But you get the point. Like, I never really thought about it, but it's a very timeless world. Kind of like a series of unfortunate events, where you can have something like super complicated, like something super fancy, like the freaking hotel, not Hotel de Mon, the one with the freaking rich lady and the rich guy. I forgot what the fuck it's called. I haven't watched the show in like 2 years. But that place, like you have something fancy like that, and then you have something like run down, like the fucking circus that looks like it belongs in like the 1920s. And the same goes for like that academy, like that looks like something that you'd see in like the 1800s. So it's a very timeless world, and I haven't really had I never really realized that Memoria Freese was kind of like that. The world of Memoria Freese was kind of like that. And so I feel like if there was going to be an event, I feel like if there was to be a larger event between Another Eden and Memoria Freese, where they actually go through a wormhole, I feel like it would. I feel like it wouldn't make sense to like put it in the future or in the past of Memoria Freese, because it's like it's complicated. Like it doesn't, like it has like the thing is that Memoria Freese, like even though it's a timeless world, it doesn't mean that there isn't a timeline within the timeless world. Not the timeless world, but like you know what I'm saying? Like it does have its past and a possible future. Obviously, they don't want to spoil that future, so I can definitely see if there was to be a larger event, I could definitely see them be going back into the past, possibly around the time where Daedalus was still building like freaking parts of Aurario. Like the Age of Heroes was kind of like dying down. The gods and goddesses, deities started coming down, and I don't know what problem they would have to solve. Probably having to do with like monsters or something. Probably having to do with the 3 great quests, maybe stopping those. I don't know. I honestly don't know, but I feel like there definitely could have been something. But like now that I've said all this, right? Now that I've said like what my idea could be, talking about like like timeless, like how I didn't know that like the world of Auraria is really timeless and all this kind of stuff. There's also another thing that I should really mention. Something that I'm really not ashamed. I'm kind of frustrated that I didn't mention, but I'm glad that I'm mentioning it now because. By the way, the whole reason I've decided to make this entire episode talking about my response or like my review in part C of episode 1314 is because there was a certain part in which I was listening to, like I had to crop a certain part. I think it was cropping part C, and I just decided to listen to the beginning because I needed to go to the bathroom or something. And so I'm listening to it, and I'm like, I don't like that I said, like, I don't like that I just said, oh yeah, if this was a prelude, I could understand. It's like, I didn't really explain that, because I had a whole idea that I wanted to explain, and I didn't explain it. So I'm kind of making this, like, second part to, part C, I guess you could say, or to the review, because it's important. Anyway, the other part that I'm kind of, like, ashamed, not kind of, yeah, kind of ashamed, feel kind of stupid, but feel kind of really happy that I'm mentioning it now, is the scheduling for these events. These events, look, I am no game designer, I am no, writer, character, modelist, whatever you want to call it. I'm no artist. I don't really work in that industry. And so I'm not one to say that, oh yeah, this takes a long time, or this takes a long time, and this one, this and this. But I'd venture a pretty good guess that I'm assuming with all these events releasing basically one after the other after a specific day that they are gone, that there is a hell of a lot of fucking scheduling with how much time they work on these events, how much time they spend on the writing, the developing, the just like the sounds. The music is, it's almost always kind of like reused because it's the soundtrack, but that's fine. It works. But I can't imagine how much is put into these events. The same goes for every event, really. And so I don't know why. No, not that I don't know why. I can see why they had to make this collaboration event not as grand as the Beast. I think it's like the Cursed Sword, the Strike the Blood collaboration. I can see why they didn't make it as big as that one, or as big as something like Aida's Vesta or Stray Record or Grande, because when you think about it, right, this year they have consistently made like almost every single event from January to at least September has been non-stop, like, grand projects, alright? Of course, Aida's Vesta being the grandest of them all. And so I don't blame them for not making this, not that I don't blame them, but I can definitely see that they had to cut corners with this event, and that's why it didn't turn out as grand as I thought it would be. And I can understand, and like in that perspective, in that kind of like understanding, I can understand why this event wasn't as big, because of course, like when you think about it, right, after Aida's Vesta, they had to schedule Midnight Sabbath, right, and then filled in time to put out a rerun of Nightmare Academia, and then now a rerun of God, what do you call it? Like to save time probably. They put out a rerun of Nightmare Academia so then they could release this event, because they're just like, all right, let's release this event and whatever. because obviously they were preparing for a larger thing. That larger thing being the Pop Star sequel to Next Generation Pop Stars. And then, of course, since it is like Christmas time, they had to re-roll or rerun the Christmas event from last year, because they probably didn't have enough time to make a Christmas event for this year, because they wanted to focus instead on making the sequel for the Pop Star event that the first part came out like 2 years ago. And so you get the point. I'm sure there's a lot of scheduling with the shit. And I guess I didn't realize that when I originally made my review. But now that I kind of like realize that, that I'm sure that all of this is like on a huge schedule and shit, I can 100% see why they didn't make this collaboration as big as they did, or as big as I would have hoped. And I should have expected it. Like, from the moment I saw that it was only available for like 10 days, like not 10 days, but like 20 days. Like when we have a huge event like Aida's Vesta or like the Beast and the Cursed Sword, that shit's like available for like at least like 2 months, or something like that. Especially if it has multiple parts, like both Aida's Vesta and Beast and the Cursed Sword. So it's just a lot. I think I totally, like, despite how I feel about it and all this kind of stuff, I understand. I understand why it didn't feel, why they couldn't make it as huge, as incredible, and so, yeah, I mean, despite everything that I've said, I think what I'm going to do, because even though I said I wouldn't put it in an S tier or anything, I kind of just won't put it anywhere. Because I feel like it's one of those events where, and this is like my perspective, it's not what happened, right? Everything that I've said, I can't confirm that it's true. Like, I can't confirm that they're on a schedule. Like, like, this is all just assumptions. This is all just theories and shit. And a bunch of, and a little bit of like, and a little bit of imagination with like, oh, what could have been kind of thing. Also discussion with like the, timeless world and stuff. But it's also the fact of that it's also that I can't imagine. Not that I can't imagine, but I can imagine. No, yeah, okay, sorry. I lost my train of thought. I won't put the Under Resort, and the Feline Guide thing in any category, in any ranking, because I feel like it's one of those events that to Write Flyer Studios was like, holy shit, that's like that sounds like a fucking baller idea. But then they couldn't make it as big as they wanted it to, and so they kind of just shortened it. And knowing that there would be more stuff to. I mean, obviously, they could have worked on it more on the background. They could have maybe released. Maybe they could have kept the release of Nightmare Academia a little longer. Maybe even like thrown out like a new. I don't know, like a new small thing. I don't know. Maybe like a rerun, like another rerun. But it's kind of one of those events where it's like it feels like they wanted to do something big, but then they kind of just went for smaller scale big, and it worked, but like it didn't. Like I had set my expectations high, because that's kind of how I usually am with a lot of these events, especially after the grand ending of Estrella Record. I feel like Estrella Record was kind of the event that kind of just like blew me away and kind of just told me that that these events would keep on getting better and better and better and better and better. And I don't know, I was kind of just kind of like unsatisfied when with this. But I understand it. Like, now that I've kind of like talked about it, made my theories about it and all this kind of stuff, I can understand, because of scheduling and writing and all this different types of shit. I can completely understand that this was one of those events. This is one of these ideas of events that could have been really, really good. It could have gone for 3 months. It could have had a whole campaign and all this shit, but it didn't, because there's bigger plans, and that's exciting. It's exciting to know that, I guess you could say that this event was sort of like a, I don't want to say like fake bait, but it was sort of like fake bait to like nom on, to then eventually get to what we now have, which is the Popstar event. And so I'm excited. I'm very excited for Popstars. That's going to be very, very fun to get through. I may or may not replay through the original. We've already rerun through it twice, but I think it'd be interesting to rerun it again. Probably just do like some witty commentary on it. Honestly, I would love to just I'd love to do like a huge event extravaganza. If I can fucking finish Duo of Sun and Moon, I'd love to do an entire event extravaganza in which we just go through the entirety of we revisit the original Popstar event, and then subsequently continue with the sequel. But I don't know how that's gonna work. Yeah, so in conclusion, Under Resort and the Feline Guide was not as good as I was expecting it to be. Not as interesting as I thought it was going to be. But I understand, like, I've sort of, like, come up with a reasonable enough explanation for why it wasn't that way. And even though it might not be the real explanation, right explanation, that explanation, like the idea, having an idea of what the reason for why it wasn't as good as it could have been is enough for me for right now. So yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to do. This was really fun. I like, despite my thoughts and despite all this shit, I actually really like this. I mean, I guess you could call this the fourth part, but it's not really the fourth part. Genuinely, despite me, me kind of disliking this event, not really being my favorite, it's because of this event that I am now finally back to doing this series fucking daily again after like 12 episodes. So we're finally back. All right, whether you hated the event or not, whether I hated the event or not, it's got us back into the swing of things. All right. No pun intended, because I totally didn't finish Spider-Man today. Yeah, this has been, like, genuinely really fun. Again, like I said, despite me not really liking the event, these past 4 videos that I've recorded, Part A, Part B, Part C, episode 1314, and then, of course, episode 1315, really good. Like, in succession, have been really good. I think this episode might be my favorite episode, or like one of my most favorite episodes that I've made, because like there was only one point in this episode in which I like almost forgot what I was saying, but like I got everything I wanted to say out. And And I'm also glad I got to cover the fucking, like, my ideas for what it could have been, for what I thought it was going to be, for why it was how it was. I got to talk about the timeless world and shit. I'm glad. I really like this episode. This has got to be, like, one of the most in-depth fucking, like, reviews that I've done for an event. I swear this fucking review is, like, as long as the event itself. So, anyway, without further ado, thank y'all for watching an episode of Dungeon de Alma Tomero no Machi Gatiro de To Memoria Freese Y4. And I'll see y'all, not tomorrow, I mean, you will, but not really, you know, because technically I'm going to sleep, and I'll see y'all Friday. I'll see y'all Friday for something. It's going to be very exciting. I don't know what we're going to do. Probably not Pop Stars, because I am thinking about doing that event extravaganza, though I probably will be doing, who knows, maybe I will do Duo of Sun and Moon, because, just, you know what, let's just, I want to have a quick rant here, right? So, today was, like, really funny, okay? Because I basically, I did stuff today, right? But, like, at the end of the day, like, I had wanted to finish up Spider-Man, and then, like, decorate the tree with my mom for a bit, and then after we did that, I'm like, alright, I have to go ahead and record Memoria Freese, and I said that, like, around, like, 7 or 8, and, like, for that whole time, like, legit, the entire time I was recording, the entirety of episode 1314, I was so chill. Like, it was so chill to just be, like, standing around my room doing, like, random stuff while watching this whole event play out, or watching the whole video be played out, or, like, me talking kind of thing. I don't know. Like, obviously I didn't do a stream today, so, I mean, that's obviously a huge factor in why I was able to make all this work. So I think if I was going to do, I think I figured out that I can only do one, or I figured out that if I want to do a huge event like this, or, like, any event, whether it's Duo of Sun and Moon, whether it's a Stray record, any event from now on, like, if I ever want to, like, speedrun an entire event in, like, one day, that I either have to do that or a stream. I can't do both. I cannot do both. Doing both will physically and mentally disrupt me. Because with events, it takes a lot out of me. Obviously, you can tell that it didn't take a lot out of me in the mental sense with this one, because I'm still talking. But from events such as, like, a Stray record and I use Vesta, it really took a lot on me to do that. Especially, like, even if we're going, like, way back, like the what was it, episode 735, the fucking 2-year anniversary one, the certain gods and love songs and shit, dude, that was like a 7-hour episode that I recorded in succession, like in consistency. Started recording that shit 1 a.m. to 7, dude, from dusk to dawn, my guy, from dusk to goddamn dawn. Good shit, dude. Such a good, yeah, like, and so yeah, I'm back. I don't know when I'm gonna start Meri Mia Fresmas. Preferably, I don't know when. It'll probably be a week though, not in a week, but I think I'm gonna stick with, actually, no. You know what? I'll figure it out. I think what I'll do is what I did last year, which is, like, is that I start on Christmas Eve, and then for Christmas, and then post Christmas, and then the days between post Christmas and then New Year's, and then New Year's will be the last To Memoria Freese of To Memoria Freese Y4. I just gotta figure out that intro, dude. So yeah, get ready. If this idea of, hey, I can do an event, like an entire event in one day, without, with still being able to do my own shit, works, if that works, then expect a lot of satisfying conclusions in the next, I don't know, like 10, 20 episodes. Remember, folks, we're definitely finishing Nightmare Academia. We're definitely finishing Duo of Sun and Moon. Nightmare Academia rerun. Duo of Sun and Moon. Well, Right 9, Duo of Sun and Moon. We're going to be wrapping up. What else are we wrapping up? What else do we have? Sword Oratoria stuff, I suppose. We're going to be wrapping up maybe the next volume of the manga. We're going to be wrapping up the Tiona storyline, the Tiona character storyline interacts. We're going to be wrapping up... What else? We're going to be wrapping up... Oh, I guess even Holy Intoxicating Night. We'll kind of just speedrun that whole thing. So we'll do that. If there's any events that I forgot to do in the past... Obviously, we can't wrap up A Midsummer Night's Sabbath, which sucks, but hey, here we are. We can, the Beast and the Cursed by Face. I was right about that. We can finish off. I don't know. We can finish off. Pretty sure we finished everything here, right? There's not one thing that we haven't finished. Pretty sure we're good. Unless we're talking about like the old events like these. Like I don't think we've done Story of Growth and Spreading Devotion yet. So maybe we'll do that. Maybe that'll result in an event extravaganza. There's also like these Heroic Trials ones, but that's not really like stuff. Besides that, I can't really think of anything else. Maybe for New Year's we'll do The Werewolf Comes Again. That was a good event for New Year's. But unless they have something planned, like that's probably what we'll do. Maybe re-experience Elven Rondo. Oh, see, this is something we have to do. Although, I don't know if we're going to be able to get that done. I don't think we're going to know. I don't think we are. Because we never wrapped that up. We can wrap this up, though, right? No. There's just some stuff that can never be finished. Is there anything else that I could do? Probably not. I think what I've already come up with is enough. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so a lot of stuff that can be done here. So basically, maybe finishing an event extravaganza, doing an event extravaganza. I don't know. It's a lot of stuff. I ranted on a bit long. Thank y'all for listening. Again, this has been one of my favorite episodes of the series. Not my most favorite episode of the series, but one of my favorite episodes of the series, or at least succession of episodes, starting from episode 1314A to episode 1315. It's been an experience, and let's keep it going. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead, go to bed, because I don't want to wind up dead, alright? So yeah, until then, arigato much for watching, and arigato.